Imagine this, one of YouTube's most beloved, nice guys, a man celebrated for his devotion, family values, and unshakable loyalty, suddenly becomes the center of a scandal that destroys everything he built. That's the story of Ned Fulmer, once the wholesome heart of the Try Guys, now the internet's go-to example of how quickly fame can crumble. For years, Ned wasn't just a creator, he was a brand. His image, the loving husband who adored his wife Ariel, became his entire persona. While the other Try Guys experimented with crazy stunts and wild challenges, Ned's charm was in his normalcy. He was the relatable one, a man who balanced career, comedy, and commitment. But in 2022, that picture-perfect image shattered overnight. Photos leaked online showing Ned being affectionate with a coworker, someone who worked with the Try Guys team. The internet erupted. Fans who had followed him for years felt blindsided. The betrayal wasn't just about infidelity, it was about hypocrisy. The man who built a career preaching love and loyalty had broken his own story. Within hours, the Try Guys confirmed Ned's departure. Videos were edited, statements were released, and his name disappeared from their branding. Ariel, once the beloved figure in Ned's family-centric content, stepped back from public view, leaving an eerie silence where once there had been constant smiles. And just like that, the wife guy was gone. For nearly 3 years, Ned vanished. No YouTube uploads, no statements, no appearances. Occasionally, fans would wonder where he'd gone, threads on Reddit, tweets, rumors, but nothing concrete ever surfaced. Then, out of nowhere, he reappeared. In early 2025, Ned announced his first major move since the scandal, a podcast called Rock Bottom. The title alone said plenty. Marketed as a space for open conversations about failure, redemption, and rebuilding, it looked like Ned's attempt to tell his side of the story, with a twist of self-awareness. But what shocked people most was his first guest, Ariel Fulmer. The internet collectively froze. Fans expected a tearful reconciliation, or a mutual statement of healing. Instead, they got something much heavier. Ariel calmly revealed that while they remained partners in parenting, they were no longer together romantically. Her tone was distant, more honest than affectionate. For some, her candor was refreshing. For others, it felt like Ned was using her vulnerability to relaunch his career. What was meant to be a moment of redemption came across to many as exploitation, content disguised as contrition. The backlash was swift. Comments flooded social media. He's turning his mistakes into marketing. This isn't healing, it's PR. Rock bottom. More like brand rehab. Rather than empathy, Ned's comeback was met with skepticism. Then came the next twist, and it was even stranger. Ned Fulmer announced he was joining the world of professional wrestling. His new alter ego. Nasty Ned. At first, people thought it was satire, some ironic post-scandal performance art. But it was very real. Photos soon emerged of Ned in full wrestling gear, posing with other athletes at an event in Florida. The reaction was brutal. Fans called it attention-seeking, bizarre, and desperate. Memes exploded overnight. Some joked that Ned had gone from wife guy to fight guy. Critics saw it as another attempt at rebranding through spectacle, not sincerity. Instead of quietly rebuilding trust, he seemed to be doubling down on shock value. And just when people thought his career choices couldn't get stranger, he announced yet another pivot, stand-up comedy. Yes, Ned Fulmer, the man once edited out of Try Guys comedy episodes after his scandal, was now taking the stage again. His show poster featured a tagline that read, "Trust issues and pathological need for approval." It was almost too self-aware. Too performative. The internet couldn't decide whether to cringe or applaud the irony. Comments poured in. This isn't comedy, it's crisis management. He's trying to joke his way out of accountability. Each move, instead of softening public perception, only reminded people of how far he'd fallen. There's a pattern in all of Ned's recent choices, podcasting about hitting rock bottom, wrestling under a villain persona, performing comedy about self-image. It's clear he's trying to control the narrative, to reclaim the story before someone else does. But that strategy rarely works anymore. In today's culture, audiences have become too aware, too connected. Every attempt at rebranding is instantly analyzed, compared, and archived. The internet doesn't forget, and it definitely doesn't forgive what feels inauthentic. What people want isn't a clever comeback, it's vulnerability without performance. They want humility, not headlines. And that's where Ned seems stuck. Instead of demonstrating personal growth through actions, his every project feels like a pitch, a business move born out of guilt. Rock Bottom, Nasty Ned, the stand-up tour, all seem like different costumes worn by a man trying to be anyone except who he used to be. Even worse, the timing of his return, aligning almost perfectly with the anniversary of his 2022 scandal, made it look strategic rather than sincere. As fans pointed out, you can't rewrite history by rebranding the same month you were exposed. Ned Fulmer's story is more than just one man's scandal, it's a reflection of how celebrity culture has evolved. In the age of constant receipts and digital memory, reputation isn't something you can simply reboot. Once a creator loses the audience's trust, every move they make afterward is inevitably shadowed by past mistakes. Each new project, announcement, or public appearance is scrutinized under a microscope, with viewers constantly asking, is this genuine, or just another attempt at image repair? For Ned Fulmer, this scrutiny is relentless. Every pivot, whether it's a podcast, wrestling debut, or stand-up routine, is seen not as a bold career move, but as a performance designed to convince the public that he is more than the man who betrayed their trust. In the digital age, where every screenshot, video clip, and social media post is archived and endlessly dissected, there is no reset button. Reputation, once fractured, cannot simply be rebuilt overnight. It takes consistent, demonstrable action over time, and even then, the memory of past missteps lingers. For Ariel, the fallout has been particularly profound. Once celebrated as the relatable, grounded, and supportive counterpart to Ned's humor, she is now inextricably linked to a scandal she never asked to be part of. Her life, once private and admired for its authenticity, has become a point of public fascination, with fans and critics alike speculating about her thoughts, feelings, and responses. Despite this, Ariel's calm composure and quiet strength have earned her admiration and respect, especially when compared to Ned's often loud and performative attempts at reinvention. She has become, in many ways, the unsung anchor of this narrative, a reminder that dignity, patience, and self-respect can speak louder than the flashiest PR stunt. So, what does the future hold for Ned? Perhaps he is still trying to discover who he is outside the confines of the wife guy persona that once defined him so completely. Perhaps he truly seeks redemption, a chance to repair his reputation and regain some measure of public trust. But one critical lesson emerges from his story: in the world of internet fame, trust cannot be restored through clever marketing, flashy stunts, or self-aware humor. Redemption requires sustained accountability, vulnerability, and a willingness to let the audience witness real growth, not just a curated narrative. Until Ned moves beyond performance and begins to demonstrate authentic change, through consistent actions rather than attention-grabbing headlines, his efforts will likely be perceived as a series of experiments, awkward and mismatched, rather than a genuine redemption arc. Every new initiative, every public-facing project, only serves as a reminder of the gap between who he was, who he claims to be, and who the audience believes he can be. In the fast-moving, memory-rich environment of the internet, the story of a public figure is never solely their own. Audiences have become co-authors, shaping perception with every comment, share, and reaction. In this landscape, the lesson is clear: no matter how carefully a creator tries to rewrite their narrative, the ultimate arbiter is the audience, and their memory is long, their judgment unflinching. Ned's journey is far from over, but the road to redemption will require patience, humility, and the understanding that, in the digital age, forgiveness cannot be demanded, it must be earned over time.